Okay, we're back. All right, Happy New Year. Crazy days, a lot going on in Washington, D.C., but hopefully everyone is staying safe and healthy, and we're going to pull 2021 out very quickly and have a much better year than 2020. Here at the Hines Wilson Law Firm, we're working hard on all of our cases. We're here every day. We wear masks. I'm back in the library, so I don't have a mask on right now. But we wear masks and distance and meet by appointment only, so everyone's staying safe. So welcome. Happy New Year. Today's Facebook Live, I'd like to talk about workers' compensation claims. And we're calling this Debunking Workers' Compensation Myths, because unfortunately, there are a lot of myths in workers' compensation in Missouri. People hear things from their buddy at work or their cousin or uncle or, around town. And I'd hope to debunk those myths today and answer a lot of the most common questions we get when people call us for a free consultation. So the first myth, I think, is that I can't afford a lawyer. People think, I've got enough going on and I'm hurt at work and I'm only getting 2/3 of my wages under work comp. No way can I afford a lawyer right now. We don't charge anything. We don't charge anything up front. We don't charge anything to talk to you. In workers' comp, your lawyer's fees are 25% of the settlement at the end of your case. So we don't keep track of hours, billable time. You don't pay us a retainer. We don't get paid until and unless we win your case at the very end. And then the attorney's fees are called a contingency fee, 25% of the settlement amount, or the amount we get at hearing. If for some reason we don't win, you don't owe us anything no matter what. So that's the first myth. I think the second myth that people are worried about in workers' comp is that they don't want to sue their employer or they don't want to lose their job. First, a workers' compensation claim is not a lawsuit, and it's not really against your employer. They have workers' comp insurance to cover it. So really what we do is we help you deal with the workers' comp insurance company to make sure that they cover what they're supposed to and that they treat you fairly. People are worried about losing their job, or they've heard that other people will get fired if they file a work comp claim or get a lawyer. Some employers are bad actors and do things like that, or try to do things like that. In Missouri, it is against the law for any employer to retaliate or discriminate against you in any way for filing a work comp claim or having a lawyer help you with your work comp claim. And usually we write them a letter and tell them that, and that puts them on notice that they can't just come up with a fake excuse that you were late 5 minutes or that you didn't clock out for your 2-minute bathroom break to try to fire you. So usually once we write them that letter, let them know that we're helping with the work comp insurance, that puts them on notice, and then they do the right thing. Okay, the third one is that you really don't need a lawyer in work comp claims. A lot of people think they can get the settlement at the end by themselves. Well, the employer and their insurance company have a lawyer. You just probably don't know that yet. They have a lawyer in every single claim. And then at some point, your claim will be set for a conference in front of one of the work comp judges, and their lawyer will be there. So you don't want to show up at a conference without having talked to a lawyer to know what your rights are, to know what a settlement's supposed to look like, because that lawyer can't give you legal advice. That's their lawyer. The other thing is we handle those conference settings for you. Usually they're set every 3 months for a conference or pre-hearing conference setting before a work comp judge. So you don't have to take off work every 3 months to go to those hearings or conferences and talk to the other side's lawyer about where you're at in your medical treatment, or that you need a second opinion, or that you, they've lowballed you on a settlement offer. We handle those for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And that's really the biggest reason you need a lawyer in work comp, is because there's going to be a lot of questions that come up all through your claim about medical treatment, about what your rights are, about why they're not paying you enough while you're off work, things that we can answer those questions every day for you, but we can handle them for you and you don't have to worry about them. If you call us and talk to me about your work comp claim, I promise that I will tell you if I don't think a lawyer can do you any good. If I don't think I can do you any good, I'm not going to ask you to hire me for 25% of a settlement, because it's probably not going to be worth it for us or for you, and I'll tell you that if that's the case. Usually that's not the case, and let's get into that. People think myth number 4 in Missouri work comp is that the settlement amount is set by the work comp law. And there's a chart in Missouri. It looks like this. It's kind of bizarre to see, your body parts chopped up into sections with numbers assigned to them. But that is what Missouri's work comp law bases settlements off of. Now, the problem with that chart is that an insurance adjuster or their lawyer will show you that, or send you a copy in the mail and circle the body part that you injured and say, okay, you hurt your shoulder and here's your shoulder. It says 232 weeks of partial disability, and that means the doctor rated you at 10% of your shoulder. So 10% of 232 is 23.2 weeks, multiplied by the permanent partial disability rate of $500 a week, comes to X amount of dollars, and that's what your claim is worth. Well, that's not true, and that's misleading. And those letters are misleading, and if a lawyer tells you that and acts like the defense insurance company lawyer tells you that and acts like that's really all the claim is worth, then I'm sorry, that's misleading. Because what we can do is we have you seen by an independent doctor, an expert that's not hired and paid for by the workers' compensation company. They don't get all their business from the same workers' compensation companies over and over again. They're not the one who operated on your shoulder and says, yeah, I did a great job and you're back to work full duty, and so I think it's only 10% of your shoulder. Our independent doctor will generally rate you much, much higher than what their hired gun doctor rates you. So if their doctor rated you 10% partial disability of your shoulder, it's not uncommon for our doctors to look at that and say, no, that's a very serious surgery. And although you're back to work, it's still giving you some problems. And when you get 5 years down the road, it's going to keep giving you problems. And, our doctor's opinion may be that it's 40% disability of the shoulder or 45% disability of the shoulder. And then we can fight your claim out and get it settled for what it's worth, and not just what the work comp insurance doctor said. Generally, our clients, even after 25% attorney's fees, it's well worth it to have gotten our help, even after the attorney's fees. Sometimes it's twice as much, 100% more. So give us a call. If I don't think it's worth it for you, I'll tell you why. Myth number 5 is just that. Well, I'll wait and see what they offer me first, and then decide whether I need to call a lawyer. I can almost promise you that you're not going to be happy with the first offer that some insurance adjuster makes based on their doctor's rating. Or you might think that that's all it's worth, when in reality, it's probably worth more than that. And I'll tell you why it's a bad idea to wait for that first offer is because, first, there are strict time limitations in Missouri's work comp law. there's a 30-day written notice requirement that you have to give your employer written notice of the date and time and specifics about what happened and where you got hurt and how you got hurt. Most people don't do that, and it could come back to bite you once they get their lawyers involved. Even if they've paid benefits and sent you to their doctors, it could still come back to haunt you. Second, there's a statute of limitations. That means there's a strict time limit that you have to file a special form with the state of Missouri, not just with your employer, hand it into HR or your employer's work comp insurance company. We handle that for you and make sure you're covered on that. But more important than that, once the insurance company gets their hired gun's opinion and makes an offer to you, they may even get a second opinion. They may tell you, oh, well, let's get a second opinion. Well, that's another hired gun, a different doctor that they use routinely for second opinions. So the only independent doctor that you can get generally is one of our experts that we obtain and help and send you to, and send all the medical records and give them a good history of what happened. And you see our doctor and talk to our doctor about what problems you're having and get an independent evaluation. The other problem is once an insurance adjuster makes an offer to you, they have set what they call reserves in the insurance world, and they do that in personal injury claims. They also do that in work comp claims. So they will set up what they think is reasonable value, on their opinion what reasonable value is, or a range. And of course they'll offer you the lowest part of that range or half of that range to try to get you to settle for as little as possible. Once you get that offer and start negotiating, it's going to be a lot harder to get them up to what the real value is without an attorney. And that's why we send you to our doctor and get an independent rating so we can fight for you with an independent doctor's opinion. Some of them can get settled without having to see our doctor if we know, generally what those claims are settling for, what the judge's award in Missouri for that type of injury. We talk to you about what kind of problems you're having, and if there's an experienced defense attorney for the insurance company, they know our reputation, and a lot of times we can get settlements worked out for what a fair value is, a good settlement for you, without having to go all the way to a hearing in front of a work comp judge. Finally, number 6, most of our clients call and say, I'm a little nervous, or I've never needed a lawyer. I don't really want to hire a lawyer. I don't like lawyers. I don't blame you. Honestly, most of our clients have never had a lawyer before. And that's why I ask you to just give us a call. I'll talk to you about it on the phone. No pressure. No, it's completely confidential. Nobody knows that you called a lawyer. I'll talk to you about your claim, about your injury, and I'll give you an honest opinion about whether it's worth it for us to get in it, or whether I think you need an attorney, or I'll answer your questions about the work comp law, about how much your work comp check should be, about whether they should pay you mileage checks back and forth to see their doctors, whether you have to go to a second opinion when their doctor says, their first doctor says, yes, they need surgery, and then all of a sudden surgery's canceled and they're sending you to a second opinion in Kansas City or St. Louis. So give me a call, give us a call. We can answer those questions for you, confidential, free of charge. And if we think it's worth it, we'll tell you why, to get it to ask us to help with your work comp claim. Finally, a lot of people don't want to go all the way to trial. They've seen that on TV and they're nervous about that. We don't have jury trials in workers' comp. In workers' comp, it's a pretty informal hearing if it has to go that far. 95% of them get settled before having to go to a final hearing in front of a work comp judge. But it's real, we'll walk you through it. We'll talk to you about it. We'll go over things with you. Nothing to be nervous about. It's not like you see on TV. And generally, the ones that we don't get settled and go to hearing, the client's a lot happier after having gone through the hearing, no matter what. So I think those are 6 of the big ones. Reasons why you probably do need a lawyer in workers' comp. And give us a call, 573-443-4500. We'll answer your questions. Go to our website, hineswilsonlaw.com. There's a free chat. You can chat on with us. Email. You can email me at any time, scott@hineswilsonlaw.com, and I'll try to answer your questions about the work comp law to make sure you're getting the benefits that you deserve and that your employer pays for with their work comp insurance, help you guide you through your work comp claim. So I'm going to try to keep this short, giving everything that's going on today, but reach out and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Give us a call, email, or website, and let's have a better 2021. Happy New Year. Wear your masks. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.